Hey, it's Osman with House Einstein, and we are here outside of 1590 Cascade Avenue doing a video showing for a client that is relocating. This is what you see when you walk in. The kitchen is off to your left. And there's a stairwell up. And then on to the right. Is a sitting area or mudroom. You may be able to see this in the video, but the light makes it pretty clear in person. There's some cupping on the floor, so hardwood floors are probably nearing the end of their life, at least in some places where the sun seems to hit them particularly strongly. Continuing through from the kitchen into the dining area, which then flows into the living room. To an office. First floor bathroom. It's a full bath. It's reasonably sized, functional, with some updates. These particular windows on the house are double pane, and you can actually see the date stamp. They're 2017. Not sure every window in the house looks like it has those, but we'll see as we go through if there's any signs of deferred maintenance or other issues. Let's head down the steps. Okay, here we are in the basement. Nicely tiled and quite warm down here. All the hard surfaces are creating a pretty good echo. Looks like there's a security system on all the windows. We heard that coming in. This bedroom has a decent sized walk-in closet. I'm using an 18mm wide-angle lens for this video, so the spaces are going to look a little bit bigger than they really are in real life. But you'll at least get a better sense of the actual features of the house. A little bit of storage under the stairs. mechanical room. Mechanical room, looks like there's a radon combination sump pump, which is great, and what appears to be a newer boiler. So boilers are generally energy efficient, and a lot of buyers like them because they last a long time and you're not blowing a bunch of dust around. This is the crawl space, and you can see that they've got a plastic sheet down, which is probably supposed to function like a radon membrane for radon mitigation. I'm seeing some gaps on it. It probably could be better sealed. In your inspection, you should always do a radon test anyway, and it's relatively easy to mitigate. Okay, let's head back up. Nice built-ins. Back at the stairs right outside the main door, and now we're heading up. We'll call this bedroom number 1. Closet space is pretty tight, but the vaulted ceilings gives it a really nice sense of spaciousness. And I think all these windows were done at the same time. They all look to be in pretty decent shape, and they're probably all those 2017 vintage. Up in there you can see the stamp again, 2017. We'll wander back through into bedroom number 2. This bedroom's got a sort of funky shape to it. Same vaulted ceilings with a, looks like a little storage space or play space up there. We may have to climb up and take a look. Closet is much bigger. And we might as well climb. Alright, climbing a ladder one-handed. And that's the space up here, which looks like storage. Although certainly a child could use it as a reading nook or a playroom. From the top. Okay, this is the bath that's shared by those 2 bedrooms off to the right of the stairs. It's nicely updated. Laundry. Decent size, not a lot of space to fold clothes, but you've got a good sized utility sink and plenty of egress. Okay, and now we're into the master bedroom. And the master closet is quite spacious. I think that'll suit the vast majority of potential buyers' needs for a couple. Has a nice pocket door. And the master bath is also adequately sized, twin sinks, nice clawfoot tub, toilet room, or WC, as people like to say. Interesting little storage spaces. Oh, nope, that's the hot water heater. So it's a secondary hot water heater for the master bath. And that is a very smart idea. Anybody's ever lost hot water due to family members that utilize more than their share, having a little extra is certainly appreciated. Okay, this is the master shower, and that's plenty generous with space and tightly sealed too, so might even feel like a steam shower, although I don't see controls for one, so I don't think it is a steam shower, but it is a nice space. All right, linen closet, plenty of space in there. Well, we leave this sort of thing for inspectors, but anytime you see a dangling wire, you want to check if it's live and cap it off. Have an electrician do that, obviously. Okay. And now we're into the actual master bedroom, which is spacious and functional. Tall vaulted ceilings throughout this upper level. And there's a master balcony or patio off of the room. Tidy enough for quiet morning tea and overlooking the neighbor's backyard. But southern exposure, so that'll be nice on winter days. In the summer, all of your neighbor's trees should fill in, which means you won't have that pocket view that you see now of the Flatirons. That'll disappear. Okay. All right, and that concludes the master. Functionally, this space is a little irregular as you enter. One of the questions this client asked was about wasted space. And this particular space, and it's not very large, but is not particularly functional, although certainly you could put a little table in that space between the entrance door and the bath. Okay. I think that largely concludes our tour of the inside of the house. We'll do a quick walk around of the outside. And let's take a look into the garage to see what sort of space we have here. Looks like it's a slightly oversized two-car garage. Plenty of space for most buyers. Camping gear and vehicles. Some nice windows that let in the light. We'll go ahead and open the door and see where the garage leads out to. And this garage leads out to the alley, which is nicely paved. Not all alleys in Boulder are paved, so that's a plus. You won't be dragging mud into your house. And this is what the main entrance looks like. And this is your primary yard in this house. It looks like there's a drainage that's been built to help manage water. So buyers should check that out with their inspector and also verify on flood maps why there's that rock drainage. Make sure they understand the design of it and that it's adequate. Because standing here, it's clear that there's a little bit of a slope toward the foundation. Most likely that's just designed to funnel water away and off to the street. As with any tour of houses we do, we like to look at the exterior pretty closely to see if there's signs of deferred maintenance or damage or things that we should just know before we get excited about a house. And overall, this one looks like it's in pretty good shape. The photos on the MLS The coloring on that particular shake shingle makes it look like it's quite deferred, but in person, and maintenance is quite deferred, but in person I'm not seeing any signs. It's just the color of it gives it that kind of weathered look. And it's pretty clear the previous owners cared about managing drainage, which is critical over time to keep the foundation in good shape. Everything looks like it's positively sloped away from the house, which is great. And there's gutters down. I'm not seeing any signs of cracking in the exterior wall. The brick walls are great that way because you can really see settling, because it often appears as a step crack, but I don't see anything like that on these walls. And we did not come through this entrance to the house, but this looks like the actual main entrance of the house. A little bit of sign of settling on this cosmetic wall with that crack there. But so far, that's been the only real sign of substantial deferred maintenance or anything significant that I've seen so far on this tour. So there is a little negative slope there that you may want to correct, although the gutters probably do a great job of funneling that water where it needs to be and out. Some signs of paint there, but pretty minor really. Okay, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get around to that side, but we'll try. Back onto the Cascade side, and this is a corner lot, so we should go ahead and do a quick step out onto the street here. And actually, if you look carefully down the street, you can see Broadway at the stoplight. Okay. It's such a distance away, I don't think it's an issue, but just worth noting for commuting purposes. Okay, again, more attention to drainage, which is nice. I don't know if this is a fence that can be open. It cannot be open from this side, so we'll just peer over the fence. Get a sense of the back side of the house. This would be a nice spot for a patio, for a barbecue grill, but no space to entertain back here. So outdoor entertaining spaces are lacking on this house. And it doesn't have a backyard. Its yard is mostly to the front and side. But otherwise, I don't really see any particular deficits or compromises that a buyer should know. It is Lower Chautauqua, far enough from the university. You really shouldn't have any issues with students here. None of the neighbors look like student houses, but we always recommend deeper investigation on that if it's of concern. There are parts of Uni Hill that have very high student density, and as the kids walk back home after a night of partying, sometimes they can cause property damage to cars and leave trash in yards and that sort of thing, which is mostly a nuisance and annoyance to owners, but not so much in this location. Brickwork looks like it's in great condition. Back out to the side where the garage was. Looks like a minor retaining wall here. The neighbor's yard is quite a bit higher. Overall, in pretty decent shape. This siding on this side looks weathered. It is the south-facing wall. And where I got started in real estate, cedar shake is everywhere on Nantucket. Overall, this isn't in bad condition, but my guess is it needs a paint job this summer. South-facing walls take a beating in Colorado. But this one's holding up pretty well. I would schedule it for a paint this year. It'll be far less expensive than waiting a few more years to do it. Oh, it's a nice accent. This is it for the patio. So definitely not enough space to entertain anybody, but certainly enough space to throw a barbecue grill. And that completes our video tour. And we're off to the next house. Okay, we've wrapped up our showing at 1590 Cascade. The summary thoughts I have about the house are that it has very good flow on the first floor as you walk in to the kitchen, into the living area, and then over to dining and the office, where actually the front door is. We came in through the side door, which is likely where most of your guests will probably try to come in. The master suite is adequate. The master closet is more than adequate. It's gigantic. Bedrooms on the upper level, the second and third bedrooms are probably fine for kids, although one has a very small closet. Basement's a little on the small side. There is an extra bedroom down there that would function okay for a guest bedroom. Biggest negative, so those are all the pros. It's a good location. The negatives are that the corner lot kind of creates this unusual entrance to the house. It's not entirely clear when you're standing on the street where the front door is, and most of the house faces north, so you get a bunch of ice buildup on the north side. And there's no outdoor entertaining spaces, so and I have a hard time visualizing how you could add any outdoor spaces since the house is butted up pretty close to the edge of the lot. And then there's some funkiness to it. I mean, the first floor walk-in and vaulted ceilings is actually quite nice. It lets in a lot of light, but there's some unusual aspects to the architecture. It's not a standard floor plan at all. It's a custom house, and very clearly so, but it's nice. So that's overall what I see as pros and cons of the house. All right, thanks so much.